Hi guys, Irina here and welcome back to my channel where I review everything tech. Today, let's talk about the Apple Watch Series 7, the latest Apple Watch model at the moment, and this is the 41mm version with a stainless steel case in silver. I've been using Series 5 and honestly, this time around my upgrade to the Series 7 was kind of weird and a little complicated, and I want to share my story in this video so that you wouldn't make the same mistake, and let me start from the beginning. First of all the Apple Watch models I've had before were with a larger display, so my Apple Watch Series 5 was a 44mm version, and all the bands I've used before were mostly sport bands, because they were my favorite. And as you know, if you get a sport band, in the box you will have two sizes, a small and a medium, and my size is small, so I've never had a problem matching a larger display and a smaller band. However, this time around I decided to go with a stainless steel Milanese loop, and it was my mistake to order a 45mm Apple Watch with a Milanese loop because in the box you only get one large size band for the 45mm version and one small size band for the 41mm version. And if you follow me on Instagram, you already know what happened, but yeah, the truth is the 45mm Apple Watch with a Milanese loop would never work for me, which is actually kind of unfair. After some measurements, I discovered that my size for the Apple Watch band was 1, and since I also wanted to try a solo loop and the smallest size for the 45mm solo loop was 4, I realized that I had to return my new Apple Watch, which was a bit sad, but totally worth it since the new Apple Watch is quite pricey and it should be perfect right out of the box and work with all kinds of bands. So I had some kind of a deja vu moment while ordering the Apple Watch Series 7 again, but this time I got the 41mm version and instantly all kinds of bands became available for me. Honestly, I was surprised how good the 41mm version looks on my wrist. I was afraid that the display would be too small, but it's just perfect, and also, unlike the 45mm version, this watch is so lightweight. I could wear this watch all day without even feeling it on my wrist, which frankly, I never felt with all the other Apple Watch models I've had before. Speaking of the display, the first thing I noticed was that the borders are really small on this Apple Watch, especially when compared to the Apple Watch Series 5 and older models. Apple calls the display in the Series 7 the largest so far, thanks to the reduced borders, and this change is quite noticeable. The shape of the display on the Series 7 looks a little bit rounded when compared to its predecessors, but still, this is the same Apple Watch and nothing has really changed in terms of design. Another curious thing I've noticed is that the display on the new Apple Watch Series 7 is slightly dimmer than the one on my old Apple Watch Series 5, which seemed to me a bit weird because we always expect better and brighter displays every year. And just to confirm, I compared both the 41 and 45mm versions, so it's not like the device was faulty or something, but at the same time, the brightness of the Apple Watch Series 7 feels enough, so there is nothing to be concerned about. Of course, on the Series 7 we get some new watch faces: Contour, Modular Duo, Portraits, and World Time. And speaking of the new ones, I like Contour, very minimalistic if you like something like that. It reminds me a little of the Melting Clocks by Salvador Dali. And when it comes to more helpful watch faces, my personal favorite for a few years has been this one. It's called Activity Analog, since my main goal for wearing the Apple Watch is being more active. I want to see my daily progress. Doesn't mean I close these rings every day, but I still find this whole ring system quite motivating. In the left upper corner, I have quick access to voice memos, extremely helpful if I need to remember something but I don't have an opportunity to type or write it down. In the right upper corner, I have my workouts, since I try my best to exercise regularly. Honestly, I still struggle with consistency, but I'm really trying. And finally here at the bottom I have the weather app. Now let's talk about the battery life on the Series 7. Apple claims that we get the same 18-hour battery life just like we had 4 years ago on the Series 3, but let's not forget that starting with the Series 5, we get the always-on display feature, which is very demanding when it comes to battery life. From my experience, the battery life on the Series 7 feels pretty much the same as on my Apple Watch Series 5. With the max brightness and the always-on display enabled, this watch can last me 1 day. I wish the battery life on this watch was better and would last me at least 2 days, but with all my favorite features enabled, it's impossible on this watch. However, keep in mind that this watch will last you 2 full days if you disable the always-on display. By the way, the battery health on my older Apple Watch after 2 years of use was 96%, which is actually pretty good, but it's so satisfying to see 100% on my new one. When it comes to charging, in the box with the Apple Watch Series 7, we get a new charger, and if I put the new charger next to the previous generation charger, you will see that the new one has a USB-C connector instead of the USB-A. Also, the new one has the silver finish, just like on the MagSafe charger, and now the new charger is slightly thinner than the old one. Apple claims that with the Series 7 we could expect faster charge time, so now let's do a charging test and see how long it takes to fully charge the Apple Watch Series 7. I'm gonna use the charger that I got in the box and this 20-watt power adapter that you have to buy separately. My watch just died, and let's go. 55% after 30 minutes of charging. 1 hour later we get 97%. And 6 minutes later, this Apple Watch gets fully charged. So it took 1 hour and 6 minutes to charge it from 0% to 100, but I think the majority of users, including me, don't wait till their Apple Watch completely dies, so the charge time should be even faster, under an hour. By the way, for reference, it took almost 2 hours to fully charge my Apple Watch Series 5 with the old charger. Looks like the Apple Watch Series 7 doesn't really have any new features when compared to the Series 6, but let's not forget that I switched from the Series 5, so for me the blood oxygen feature is new. I usually have 98% or 100% on my Apple Watch, and so far I've had exactly the same numbers at the doctor's office, so I guess this blood oxygen feature is pretty accurate. The good thing is that when you buy a new Apple Watch, you get a 3-month Fitness Plus subscription for free. And while I'm not happy about getting any extra subscriptions since there are already enough of them in my family, I have to admit that the Fitness Plus has been growing on me. I don't have the Apple TV, so most of the time I use Fitness Plus on my iPad. This app has so many workouts, there are always new ones, and I like that there are always other 2 people in the background and it feels like a group workout, so it's more fun. And also it reminds me of those old school workout videos. Just a few words about the bands I got, in case you were thinking about getting one of these but had some doubts, since these two are quite pricey. Honestly, I had my own doubts before buying them. Speaking of comfort, I find this braided solo loop the most comfortable. I don't even feel it on my wrist. The only thing is that you need to know your size. Honestly, I was surprised that my size was the smallest. I was choosing between size 1 and size 2. But Apple advises to size down if you're between 2 sizes. I've heard that this type of band stretches out a little over time, so we'll see how long it's gonna last me. And speaking of the Milanese band, I like that it's super easy to adjust on the wrist so that it fits perfectly. It's also comfortable and surprisingly soft on skin, but it's slightly heavier and hence a bit less comfortable than the solo loop. So at the moment, these 2 bands are my favorite, but I was also thinking about getting a good old sport band. So, if you ask me, I have mixed feelings about the Apple Watch Series 7. To me, it feels like the only thing that is slightly different about this watch is the design. And not because the Series 7 itself is so different, but because all the previous Apple Watch models I've had an aluminum case and now it's stainless steel. So basically, I could get the Series 5 with a stainless steel case and have pretty much the same experience minus the blood oxygen feature. So the truth is, if you want to buy your first Apple Watch, it doesn't really have to be the latest generation. You could buy any model you like, because at the end of the day, you're gonna get pretty much the same Apple Watch. Yes, we get some new features on the new models, and you'll have to decide for yourself which features are worth spending the extra money on. But yeah, same Apple Watch, same great experience, well, you get the idea. Let me know what you guys think, stop by to say hi in the comments. Thank you so much for watching and see you in the next video.